Our story starts here. Anish Giri chasing down Javakir Sindarov, who's having the tournament of his life. Candidates chess battle for who faces world chess champion Gukesh D, and this is the penultimate round. Giri must win this game to then give himself a chance of still making the tournament interesting, maybe winning it, right? What did he do? Opens with pawn d4, prepare for a little slice of chess history. It starts with a queen's gambit, e6, knight c3. Now if you plonk the knight on f6, white's got the bishop g5 option. So this one was selected. You now have to find a move, and you can't do this. So this was selected instead. Whoopsie, first an exchange, now bishop f4. We see the knight stumbling onto the board and pawn e3. It's standard stuff, seen many times before. You could play pawn to c ships, sure, very solid here. But c5, punching through the centre straight away, is more ambitious. The better move, really. You do accept the fact that you could have an isolated queen's pawn. Giri sticks the knight here. Sometimes it's to set up the big centre, but tough when there's already pressure on d4. This seahorse develops, castles, and now bishop g4. Now, aren't you about to get completely chased back? Well, yes, you could go f3, but you start weakening the pawn on e3. So instead, Giri takes here. This is really standard stuff, trying to play against this isolated queen's pawn. He then pushes h3, wants to keep this solid structure, plus everyone loves a bathtub, one of the best sites in chess. Don't back up with the bishop, by the way. Classic kind of off the wrist blitz move. You get punched with this, bishop backing up, exchange, and now with the pawn, you get a tempo on the knight. It moves, you pick up the central pawn. So, obviously the players know this. This is a step in the wrong direction. Therefore, this by process of elimination, giving white that legendary bishop bear. Can Giri make something of it? The knight recaptures here. If you give white enough time, they'll blockade that d4 square, but not today. d4's on the board there, straight through the middle. You could take, but instead, the pawn slides on past. And of course, it's in keeping with Giri's strategy. Keep pieces on the board, pawns on the board, tension, a multitude of plans for both sides. The pawn's attacked, defended by the knight. Knight d7 here. The tension's rising in the studio, in the room, on the board. Everyone can feel it. Rook c1's very playable here. Put some pressure on this bishop. You could look at ideas like bishop c4, staring down towards the king. But a3 is played. Slightly strange looking move, because it does allow this without any issues. You know, there's no rook pressuring the bishop. And Giri's plan is to take, give up the bishops. May we? What's he doing at this moment in time? How can you possibly let this happen? Well, he does get to roar like a mighty chess lion as the f-pawn advances. And he's saying, look at my pawns, connected, rolling towards your king. The knight could join the party. The queen could join the party. The rooks. How are you gaining your counterplay? Well, it's on the dark squares. If this pawn gets to move, check, there's things going on. b2's now attacked, but not defended. Giri goes full-blooded here. Pawn e5, saying please take on b2. Give me that time to go knight e4, hit your loose bishop. Then some stuff could start happening around the king. It is a playable line if you're an all-seeing engine, right? But Sindarov doesn't want a part of it. He goes for the queen exchange, even at the cost of the doubled pawns. So of course, Giri plays not queen f3. We're in back cave analysis mode here. Surely you go for this, rook ad8. Then you start bringing the other rook. Maybe get a chance to rumble these pawns. I mean, this is loose, so not just yet. But think knight e4, queen g4. Can the knight sneak into f6? Bishop's going to drop back and cover, but you really start asking questions. Giri, however, goes a different way into the endgame. Bro thinks he's Magnus Carlsen. Is he really going to win this? We're about to find out. The knight steps in. The knight steps in some more. And before you know it, Giri's got an octopus. This bishop staring at its own pawn. If you advance, is it going to drop? Rook e6 is played. f6 a threat. Knight's loose. You could start with rook a d1, but the knight stumbles back here. f6 is played anyway, and hang on a minute. Are you not walking slap bang into f5, e6, defended past pawn? We're about to find out, but first, a massive thank you to the incredible sponsor of today's video. Please do have a listen. This is The Book. The ultimate guide to rebuilding civilization. I mean, the size of it, it's stunning. It's printed on the most beautiful matte art paper. The illustrations are out of this world. I've never seen anything like it. There's even a secret quest hidden inside the pages of the book. More on that in a second. What the heck actually is it? It's this stunning, illustrated encyclopedia of all of humankind's greatest inventions. Art, history, science. Who's it for? Well, basically anyone who loves learning, who is interested in history, a curious mind. I love having this just lying around the house. They sent me it a couple months ago. I pick it up almost daily. So do the kids, but I'm trying to keep them kind of careful with it. It's a beautiful, beautiful book, like an investment for life, right? It really is good. Check it out down below. Use the link, use the code epicchess10. You get yourself a discount. And like said, there's a secret quest. If you complete the quest hidden inside the book, which very few people have done, then you get access to an exclusive group. I won't say too much about it, and they even give out real prizes off the back of that. Do pick yourself up one of these. It's truly an investment. I really do love it. Use it so often. Link below. Get on over there. I'm sure you're going to love it as well. We're back to the chess here. Was f5 played? No, it was not. We're in analysis mode. Here's a sample line. It looks so scary to allow this connected, protected passed pawn. Connect 4 could even be on the way. However, this one gives counterplay. And yes, this e-pawn can get super scary at some point. But in the meantime, you've got to deal with this. It's also a massive thorn in the side here. e7, but rook e8. And it all ends up pretty level. Exchanges of prisoners, the black king can step in if needed. It's not quite enough. So instead, Giri rolls the dice on this continuation, allows takes, pawn recaptures, rook coming behind the pawn. He decides to rook lift into the game, show off the biceps, maybe a threat now of taking the bishop, picking up the pawn, although those lines are also quite levelish, but it doesn't happen anyway, because the pawn advances with check. You could take, but both moves are playable, probably repairing the structure better. Then you can look at taking here. This was on the board. Bishop c7 now. Pawn's about to drop. Defended. Attacked once more. Triple whammied. And if you go rook e1, well, it's very difficult to actually pick up this pawn when this one, or protect it properly, sorry, when this d pawn can also run and the king can be checked in certain lines. So Giri just steps up the board, says take the pawn if you wish, but is the endgame any good for you? Sindarov wants to find out. We go into this line here where it's 4 on 4, yes, but black's got these double a pawns, weakened targets. This one slides over now. b3's played. King f7 does give this chance to actually win a pawn. However, if you go for this, the black rook is so well placed that it's incredibly hard to win. And if you ever give up h for a, you get 1 versus 2, theoretical draw. So let's run back here. After king f7, Giri went for pawn a4, rook b7 backing up, and the king now marches over, protecting the b pawn, allowing the rook to activate here. a5 clamps, here comes the king, covers that pawn, check, king b2, this rook activates, and h4. Giri's just trying everything he can. Every last roll of the dice here. Running pawns on both sides. If you now step to c3, well, black can basically keep checking. And if you ever try and run over here, well, you can step over, hit the pawns, threaten to check once more. So Giri steps this way. But he's now caught in a mating net. If only you could land a check. You can't, of course, but difficult to now activate. h6 from Sindarov. Come at me, bro. Do your worst. Giri goes for the activation, and he does now do a great job of winning a pawn. Check. This one drops. You can't cover the g6 pawn, so the rook simply gets into a good position. Similar themes to over here. So hard to make progress when the rook is so well placed. This is how the game went. This check. Now g6. King sidesteps. Waiting. Do something. Giri comes here. Of course, don't take the pawn. Check. Lose a rook. So this was played. What if you now try this to make some progress? Well, still black can wait. Still black can say do your worst. Don't go king c6, of course. You lose on the spot. But if you go king b7, you're all good. Here's a sample line. If you try and push, you check. It doesn't work. What if instead you try and... Okay, here you have to go to a7, by the way. Don't go to c7. This is a classic trick. Same as we saw before. But backing it up to here, what if instead of pawn b4, you try, I don't know, moving the rook? I mean, you've got nowhere to go. You can do this, but you just lose the pawn. Giri's got nothing. So what do we get? Simply a repeat of the position, move 58, draw was agreed here. So Javakir Sindarov becomes the candidate's winner. He will face Gukesh D in the World Chess Championship later this year. What drama, incredible. Do check out the book down below. I absolutely love it. Such a great pick up and read. And have a look at the video on the screen if you want to see some more epic chess. Cheers.